Hi everyone. If you cannot tell who this is behind this beautiful, colorful mask, it's Susan Damiani. As you know, I'm Director of Gift Planning at St. John's University. And I'm back here in this wonderful, quaint boutique, Pippy and Lily, located in Northern Flushing, where I live. And I'm here visiting the owner of Pippy and Lily, Anita Manfredonia. And Anita has a connection to St. John's through her husband and his entire family. They all attended St. John's. And that is how it all started. We had an event last year because we were talking about St. John's, and Anita does a lot of charity events here at her store, and we hosted one, and it was marvelous, and we were going to do it again, but unfortunately the pandemic struck, and everything came to a halt, unfortunately. But we're hoping, we have it postponed till next March, so please put that on your calendar. But I'm also here to talk to Anita to get her perspective as a small business owner. What is it like? What is it, Anita, like under this, within this environment to manage a business?
It's
Must be
probably the
difficult.
biggest challenge I've ever had as
Sure.
a business owner.
Mhm.
It's very stressful, it's very challenging, but although it's challenging, it forces you to be creative. If you were never creative before, you probably are creative now if you're a
Totally
small
agree.
business owner. Small business owners usually turn on a dime anyway when things happen, because things happen every day. But this was above and beyond anybody's expectation, that you could imagine.
Right.
So what I did is I closed in the middle of March, and I started to think of all the things I can do, not all the things I couldn't do. And I thought, okay, I need a website because that's the only way I'm going to sell through all my goods that I brought in March. So I created a website. I had a website, but you weren't able to buy off of it, so I just had to doctor it up and read a lot about how to do it myself. And I got a basic website going with my products, and that really, really helped me keep the lights on and the
That's
utility
great.
bills going, so I could just coast until I saw what was happening.
So the technology really
So the
helped
tech,
you.
yeah, and you
Mhm.
don't have to be a tech person. I mean, now I
Right.
joke around and I say I'm the tech team now too, but you can do it. It doesn't have to be intense. Like, you can do a simple website.
And when did you open up? Because
So,
I know the store's open now.
I
to
was
the public.
closed March 16th, and I was allowed to open on June 24th. So I was closed like 3.5 months, but the website was pretty, it was pretty good for me because my customers are so loyal in this neighborhood that they constantly tried to keep, I know they kept me here and bought things probably they didn't want because they wanted me to stay here, but I'm truly grateful, and I know that's what they did, and it's like
So relationships are really important.
amazing.
Right.
It's an amazing neighborhood. My customers are really, they
Well,
always,
that's a kudos to you too, though, because you are very friendly, very welcoming in the
Thank you.
store, and I think that's why people come back.
thank you.
So I think that's important as well. And then what I noticed is as I came into the store, Anita is very strict. She's got a great system. How did you find out what to do? With the gloves and checking, asking questions,
Well,
masks.
I had to constantly read the state mandates. So every week I was reading state mandates, and so I knew what I had to do. But there were a lot of industry webinars that I watched that kind of, for my industry, for clothing, and they really did tell you like what should happen. So it's basically I had to make wide aisles, 6-foot markers on the floor. I provide, the sanitation, Purell and the gloves, and I had to kind of edit my floor. I had to take a lot of fixtures and everything off and, really edit down.
And the maintenance, you were saying, every night you have
Yeah,
to
every time someone touches
clean the
something and they
store every
leave,
night?
I have
Mhm.
to clean everything that was touched.
Right.
And at night, again. At first it was stressful, and a lot of the
Sure.
customers were great about it, but every once in a while you have someone who doesn't want to do it. They just, everybody has a different sense of security,
Right.
and we all have to understand that, respect each other's security. So I'm kind of like the police woman in here when
Right.
one person doesn't want to do it and the other one does, but it usually works out. I mean, usually people are very good about it.
And what about in terms of retail business? Do you feel retail business will continue the way it was always doing business, or do you feel retail is going to transform itself?
It's not gonna be the same as it
Mm.
was. It's already different. So for an example, normally where I would go into the city, in the Javits Center, and do some of my shopping for the
Mhm.
store, there's no Javits Center shows anymore. So now everything's virtual showrooms,
Wow.
or emailing us line sheets, or, you know, everything's on the computer, which I don't like, because I like to touch and feel, just
I was
like
just gonna
customers
say,
do.
Right.
But because I have pretty decent relationships, pretty good relationships with my vendors,
Mhm.
I kind of know what the clothes look like. I kind of know the quality. So I'm a little lucky that way that I made these relationships.
Mhm.
And sometimes they'll come into my store with a rolling rack, and they'll go in the back, and we'll sit there and we'll pick through. So I'm kind of hoping that's what they'll do. I have no idea. It's really still kind of like fresh for
Mhm.
fall.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to keep buying and changing everything and the
Mhm.
selection, because now I do have the website and the store.
Right.
I just go day to day.
Yeah, and I think that's what you have to do, because everything, like you said, is evolving and
Mhm.
rules change. We
Mhm.
see that with the
Mhm.
restaurants. The rules have changed
Absolutely.
a couple of times. So we'll have to see, but I can tell all of you, if you're in the northern Flushing area, Pippy and Lily, adorable shop. If you want to buy a gift for somebody or just get something colorful, she's got great summer dresses. Come by, you know, introduce yourself to Anita, tell her you're from St. John's, and she'll take really good care of you.
Absolutely.
And I hope all of you are doing well. I hope you're wearing your masks. As you can see, I'm wearing my Pippy and Lily mask. And we'll see you next week at our electronic news. Take care, everyone.